saying that like, oh, I'm old, because I know I'm not old. I'm just at that age where I realize that I'm probably going to die before I'm happy. That's the point that it's at. That's the age I'm talking about. And so I don't even care about fucking. Like, I remember when I was in my 20s, man, like, you know, you'd be making out with a girl, and then, like, for whatever reason, you can't go to her place, you can't take her home, you just gotta part ways, and you got the blue balls, you know, and you're like, yeah, when I get home, I'm just gonna jerk this out. Like, it's just gonna go. I don't even, like, I make out with a girl now, and then drive home, and, like, I'm limp, like, before I start my car. Like, I swing by Jack in the Box on the way home. I'm just like, all right, we're gonna watch 3 episodes of Law and Order. Pass out to that. Get that thing in the morning, you know, where it's like, I get my arm around somebody, and I wake up feeling like, oh, man, this is nice, I remember this. And then realize it's just a pile of comic books that I passed out to. Fucking awful. I met this, speaking of beautiful women, I went to this bar for a friend's birthday, and there was this gorgeous woman there, and just like, let me explain this. She's one of those women that when I walked in the door and saw her, I was just like, nope, not happening. Just that office manager in my brain was like, that's not our priority, sir. Just put that in the shredder, fuck it. And I started talking to her. And well, she actually approached me after a while, and I started talking to her, and I was so cool because I didn't give a shit, because I just knew there was nothing going to happen. We hit it off. Afterwards, her roommate, my buddy's girlfriend, was like, "Hey, I want to set you guys up," and I was just like, "Yeah, do that. That'll be hilarious." We'll see. Because she's like tall, natural blonde, has her shit together, owns a business, like. Fucking, and it's just the kind of woman that if we go on a date, if this happens, and she doesn't just run upon seeing me under natural light, like, if you see us walking together on the street, this is the kind of girl she is, you would just think that she was very polite, and I just have no concept of personal space at all. You just be like, some guy is standing unnaturally close to that girl. If you saw us eating dinner together at a table in a restaurant, you would just think that I was just some crazy person that wandered on the street and just goes around sitting down at people's tables. And you'd be like, oh, that's so nice of her to do that. We should probably stick around, though, in case we need to make a phone call in 5 minutes. I'm a weird person, like most of the people that were up here tonight talking about being weird. I was in a meeting at a job that I was working recently, and we're in this meeting, and there's like, you know, like the head of the fucking company is there, and it's just like everybody. And there's an event going on, and it was for someone who's dead, who's no longer with us, and someone didn't understand that. Someone in the meeting was like, oh, well, when is so-and-so going to show up for this event? And everyone in the meeting laughed, you know, like, no, that's going to be trouble because he's dead. And someone made a joke like, oh, well, we can get a Ouija board and try to find out. And then not thinking, like, just being me, just saying what I'm like, I've got a Ouija board in my car. I'm 31 years old. Not only did I not get that it was a joke, but I openly volunteered that I keep a fucking Ouija board in the trunk of my car. That's a problem. I was at a dive bar last night, actually. This is terrible. This is where I'm at right now. I can't even say this happened a year ago when I was having the problem. No, this was last night. I was at a bar where I run a mic, and I go into the bathroom because I had to piss really bad. And it's one of those like shitty dive bar bathrooms where there's no lock on the door first, and then there's a toilet and a urinal and a sink, and no walls separating any of it. It's just all right there for everyone to be a part of. And I walk in, and there's a guy pissing in the toilet, there's a guy pissing in that urinal, and there's a dude washing his hands at the sink. And I think, like, oh, this is perfect. I fit right in here. It's fucking Tetris. I'll just use that urinal because there's 3 other dudes here. It's not weird. And as I'm pissing, I start singing the Full House theme song because I'm like, these guys need some entertainment. And I get like into it, and I realize I don't know the words, so I'm just like, Everywhere you look, there's something, 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 something. And in the uncomfortable silence that ensues, I think, holy shit, tonight when I get home I need to look up the lyrics to the Full House theme so that next time this happens it's not weird. That's the kind of fucking person I am. I found out recently too that I'm a terrible person, that I'm awful and insensitive and just a piece of shit. Because last year I was supposed to give a friend of mine a ride to the airport so she could spend Thanksgiving with her family, and I forgot. I just forgot to do it. I didn't have a reason. I just had my regular morning of watching 3 episodes of Friday Night Lights with a gun in my mouth, and then turning my phone off and taking a nap and praying that I wake up to a world on fire. So it was a Tuesday, and I get up, I check my phone, there's 12 missed calls from this woman, and I'm just like, oh, fuck me. I was supposed to be a person today. I call her up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, did you get a ride, are you gonna be fine, are you getting to the airport? She's like, yeah, I spent $80 on a cab, and I'm too angry to talk to you. Click. I'm like, alright, that sucks. An hour later, I get a text message from her that says, missed my flight, FYI. Fuck me, right? Like, that's shitty. But that's not when I realized that I'm an awful person. That revelation came a moment later when my next thought was, I hope that plane crashes and there are no survivors so that she won't be mad at me anymore. That's the kind of piece of shit I am, guys. I would gladly trade the lives of 200 people, and let's face it, it's a holiday. Most of them are going to be children and grandparents. I would gladly let them die screaming on fire and very confused than to have it be awkward the next time I talk to Tracy. You guys have been awesome. Thanks a lot.